Hi everyone, welcome to my channel Srinivasa Biology Tutorials. For this section to discuss NCERT Class 12, the chapter Part 5, they vary the familiar, the beetles, red and black, their marketings, their ladybugs, their dragonflies, the useful get as in that aphids and mosquitoes, they are respectively. So familiarly when you see as in that the black, their markings, ladybugs as well ladybirds as well dragonflies are useful to get as in that completely aphids as well as in a mosquitoes the respectively. The example microbial control agents that can be that are introduced into as in a control of butterflies, caterpillars, the bacteria, the bacillus thuringiensis often into as in a BD. So when we are using as in a bacillus thuringiensis, they get useful for as in to get control as in a that some pest, and this available in a that such as dried spores which as in that mixed into as in a water spray into as in a that vulnerable plants such as in that brassicaceae, the fruit trees, where they has in eaten the insects larvae, then what happened? So when this enter the completely the sachets dried spores to get mixed on the water to get spray into as enter the crop, then what happened? They uptake to as in that enter the larva, they get eaten, then what happened? The gut of the larvae, the toxic will be released, and the automatically larva to get killed. After this, when they uptake that food for as in that in spore in the gut region, then what happened? Larva will be to get die. The bacterial disease will be that kill the caterpillars, the larvae insect that unharmed. So when we are using this all things, what happened? It is not harmful to us and that enter the crop as well as caterpillars also. Next, because their development of the methodology genetic engineering that their last decade, so the scientists have introduced as in the bacillus thuringiensis toxins, the toxin genes into as a plant. So this concept based on the scientists also they introduced into as an that bacillus thuringiensis into as a crop development purpose. Such plants are resistant to attack the insect pest. So, such a plants also they are having as an they're resistant to attack as in a insect pest also. Okay, now this is next. BT cotton. BT cotton is one such as an example which is in begin the cultivated in some states of our country. So the BT cotton also one of the best example to development as in the different crops like as any cotton and bollworms whatever. Next, you will be learn more than about this in chapter 10 only. So in that biological next in that biotechnology applications only we learn this entire thing. Next, the biological control being developed from use this in treatment plant disease, the fungal trichoderma. So here biocontrol agent, here we are using as in some species, some fungal pathogens also we using, there is a trichoderma. The trichoderma species are free living fungi, they are very common in the root ecosystem and they affect the biocontrol agent, they serve plant pathogens. So trichoderma also to get control to as in the number of pathogens. Next, here baculovirus, the pathogens to attack insects, other arthropods. So here baculovirus, here baculovirus, it is the pathogen, it is infected to as an insect as well as any other arthropods. The majority of in a baculovirus used as in a biological control agent in this genus in a nucleopolyhydrovirus. Here baculovirus we are used as in a genus that is in a nucleopolyhydrovirus. It is also to get control to as in a that enter the diseases. Here this virus excellent, they are candidates for the specific narrow spectrum and insectidial applications. Insectidial applications purpose also in this nucleopolyhydrovirus are using. Then they have been the show as and have no longer native the impacts on plants, mammals, birds, and fishes, even though non-target insects also. If they have no the complete impacts of the plants and animals. Next, these especially they're desirable when they are beneficial in insects. They begin they converted into that aid in the overall in a integrated pest management practices. That is in a mostly IPM, that is a integrated pest management program, while they are ecologically the sensitive areas being they treated. So this total process when we are using as an ecological development purpose only we are using. Okay now, this is remaining we discuss in next class. Thank you for watching. Please like and share. Next, microbes as in biofertilizers. With our the presence of daily styles, environmental pollution is major causes in concern. So in this, when you see as in the lifestyle, the environmental pollution is major headache. Here, this use as in chemical fertilizers to meet is an even the increase in the demand and agriculture process. The producers has been the contributed as in significantly to the pollution. So here, number of times they get using as in a pesticides and chemicals. Then what happen? It is to get completely. It is takes place as in a pollution. Now, of course, we have now the realized that in the there are problems associated with as an over they're completely overuse the chemicals fertilizers and there is their pressure switch to as an organic farming. So this total when you are using as a chemicals is everything here when we are using as an organic farming to use for as an biofertilizers we are using as an biofertilizers. Biofertilizers are the organic that has an enriched nutrient quantity of the soil. So this biofertilizers has a more organic nutrients also they are present on the soil. Next, the major source of biofertilizers are what? There is in a bacteria, fungi, and then cyanobacteria. Bacteria, fungi, and then cyanobacteria. Next, you have studied about as in the nodules of the root leguminous plants, the form as in symbiotic association with as in a rhizobium bacteria. So when you say as in a the root nodule formation, in this root nodule formation, here is the fixed as an atmospheric nitrogen here with the help of its rhizobium bacteria. This bacteria their atmospheric nitrogen to organic form, which is used for as in a plants and nutrients. So here this enter the nitrogen to get used as in a plants for their development. Okay. Other bacteria can be fixed atmospheric nitrogen. The free living the soil example Azospirillum, Azotobacter. This enrich nitrogen content of the soil. So as here Azospirillum as well as in Azotobacter, these also they having as a more nitrogen is present that nitrogen plants they are get using. Next, here fungi also can be used as symbiotic association with as in a plants like as in a mycorrhiza. Here fungi also to get participate as in a to fix it the atmospheric nitrogen. They fix it the in a atmospheric nitrogen. Like many members, the genus Glomules from mycorrhiza. Some genus in a Glomus from as in a mycorrhiza. It is also in a fungal symbiotic associated with as an absorption of in a phosphorus from the in a soil and that passes into the plant. So here mostly the fungal symbiotic association absorbs also what in a the phosphorus in the soil as well as in a past plants. Next, plants has in such associated ratio as another beneficial also such as in a resistant to as in a root borne as a pathogen, tolerant, salatine and drought and overall the increase in a plant growth and development. So here some entire that entire some components or plant have is associated with as in the beneficial this kind of the fixation of the nitrogen then what happened to get increase as in a tolerant or drought and saltant and the plant growth everything they are completely they are useful for as in that plants. Next, you can tell the what about the advantages fungal they are derived from as in that association. Then what happened to get development of in a plant growth. They fix the when they fix the atmospheric nitrogen in the root nodules. Okay, next. Here, some cyanobacteria or autotrophic microbes widely distributed in aquatic and terrestrial environment, many of which as in can fix atmospheric nitrogen. Here, some we observe to as in a some aquatic terrestrial algae, cyanobacteria members. Correct? They fix atmospheric nitrogen. Example here, Anabina, Nasta, Oscillatoria. These are the best example for as in a what in a cyanobacteria members. In paddy field, the cyanobacteria serve and is an important biofertilizer. Yes, cyanobacteria is in a first very good biofertilizer. Here, blue-green algae and their organic matter, the soil, the increase as in fertility. Here, the blue-green algae also to get increase in a soil fertility, means increase in a nutrient value as in the soil. The currently our in a country, the number of biofertilizers that are available, the commercially they are in the market, and farmers they are used as in their regularly their field in a replenish soil nutrients and to reduce it depends upon any chemical fertilizers. So when they get completely chemical fertilizers they get reduced and automatically to increase as in this total biofertilizers. Okay, this is in a the biofertilizers. Okay, remaining we discuss in next class. Thank you for watching. Please like and share. Thank you.